Today, we're taking a really deep dive into something that dictates almost every single decision you make, whether you realize it or not. I'm talking about your comfort zone. If you've ever felt stuck or like you're capable of so much more but just kind of can't seem to take that leap, you are in the exact right place. We're going to master the mind today by unpacking the specific psychology of why we stay put and, honestly, more importantly, exactly how to break free.
Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. It's a pretty famous saying by Neil Donald Walsh. And frankly, it sounds great on the motivational poster, right? But in this explainer, we aren't just going to hand you cliches. We're going to logically dismantle the hard biological resistance you have to change and show you exactly how to get to that true life waiting for you just on the other side. Okay, let's just quickly look at our roadmap for today. First, the illusion of safety. Then, why your brain resists, followed by the hidden costs. After that, we'll go through a practical 5-step escape plan, and we'll wrap it all up with the expansion principle. Let's get to it.
Section 1. The illusion of safety.
Before we can break out, we obviously need to know exactly what it is we're breaking out of. A lot of times when we feel stuck in life, we just beat ourselves up. We think it's a personal failure or some lack of willpower. But science literally defines the comfort zone as a psychological state where you feel safe, in control, and at low anxiety. But here's the critical catch, and it's a big one. It is also where your growth is at its absolute lowest. This isn't a character flaw. It's a highly deceptive psychological trap. You see, your brain is hardwired to seek safety and treat discomfort as a threat. Over time, this creates a habit loop. The more you avoid discomfort, the stronger and thicker the walls of this zone become. It's completely natural to desire safety, but ultimately that safety is just an illusion.
So, how do you actually know if you're trapped? Well, let's look at a few warning signs. Are you experiencing chronic boredom but totally refusing to change anything? Do you catch yourself constantly saying things like, I'm just not ready yet? Maybe you're quietly watching other people win and feeling kinda left behind. Or you wake up and every single day feels exactly identical to the last one. Or perhaps you overthink every single step until you end up taking zero action at all. Sound familiar? If your biggest dreams are starting to feel unrealistic, I promise you aren't lacking potential. You're just stuck in the zone.
Now, what's really interesting here is the stark contrast between these states. In the comfort zone, you've got your predictable routines and zero real challenge. It's easy. But contrast that with the growth zone. This zone is slightly scary, absolutely, but highly doable. This is exactly where learning, confidence, and real transformation live. The goal is to spend as much time as possible in that growth zone. Now, I do want to warn you real quick about pushing too far into what's known as the panic zone. That happens when you try to do way too much, way too fast. It's pure overwhelm, and if you jump straight into panic, your brain will snap you right back into comfort just to survive. We want strategic growth here, not panic.
Section 2, why your brain resists. Let's look at the neuroscience. If you have ever tried to change a habit, you know exactly how loud that internal resistance gets. So let's completely destigmatize that fear right now. We're going to look at the hard neuroscience behind why your brain actively hates change and why this resistance is absolutely not your fault. It all starts with what we call the amygdala alarm. This is fascinating stuff. Your amygdala is essentially your brain's threat detector. It fires up whenever you face the unknown, even when there's literally zero physical danger. To your brain, stepping up to give a public speech or launching a new project triggers the exact same biological alarm as being chased by a hungry lion. It genuinely cannot tell the difference. So that intense anxiety you feel, it's just a false alarm. Your biology is literally trying to save your life when you're just trying to send an email. Then we have the homeostasis drive. Your nervous system is brilliantly built to maintain its current state. It loves perfect balance. But this means that any deviation from your norm, even highly positive change like eating healthier or speaking up more, triggers a return to normal sabotage response. Your own nervous system will actively try to sabotage your new good habits just to get you back to your baseline. This is exactly why we always seem to naturally drift back to our old routines. Your body is just constantly fighting for the familiar. And this biological resistance builds even further thanks to the dopamine trap. Our neurochemistry plays a massive trick on us here. When you engage in familiar, easy activities, like, say, scrolling on your phone or staying on the couch, your brain floods you with comfort dopamine. It's essentially teaching you, hey, stay here, this feels really good. Conversely, when you try something brand new, your brain initially withholds that reward. The new effort feels dry, difficult, and totally unrewarding at first. You really have to actively push through that initial dopamine drought to earn the real lasting rewards on the other side. So the crucial point is this: your brain is biologically rigged to resist change. But, and this is a massive but, it is also fully equipped with an exit door. It's called neuroplasticity. The exact same brain that fiercely fights change can physically rewire itself. Every single time you take action despite feeling discomfort, you are physically laying down new, permanent neural pathways. Through sheer repetition, the uncomfortable becomes comfortable. You literally have the hardware to rewrite your own programming.
Section 3. The hidden costs. Before we get to the actual escape plan, we have to face some pretty hard truths. Staying comfortable feels completely free in the moment, right? But it comes with a steep, silent price tag. Let's look at exactly what staying comfortable is costing you. First off, if you stay in comfort, your confidence slowly erodes because you trust yourself less over time. But if you grow, it builds with every single challenge you overcome. Also, your opportunities close off because people just stopped thinking of you for new things, whereas growth actively signals readiness. And honestly, most tragically, your identity shrinks. You slowly become someone who doesn't do that. But growth expands your identity. You get to rewrite who you believe you are. And finally, there's regret. If you stay, regret accumulates silently, usually waiting to be felt the most at the very end of life. If you grow, it's replaced by pride, even when you occasionally fail.
Section 4. The 5-step escape plan.
All right, enough about the problem. It is time for the solution. We're pivoting right now into a concrete, science-backed methodology to break you out of that restrictive bubble. Here are your 5 actionable steps. Step 1. Name the fear exactly. Vague fear is incredibly powerful, but specific fear is totally manageable. Write it down. Say, I am afraid that if I try this, I'll fail and people will judge me. Boom, named it. Step 2. Find the smallest next step. Don't stare at the whole mountain. Just find one rock. Your brain completely accepts tiny moves. Telling yourself I'll send one single email is far more effective than I'm going to start a business today. Step 3. Borrow someone's belief. Find someone who has already done what you want to do. Their mere existence is your permission slip. It literally proves it's not impossible. Step 4. Use discomfort as data. When you feel that wave of anxiety, just pause and ask, is this actual danger or just growth? Usually it's just new, and new is completely survivable. Finally, step 5, stack the wins. Every tiny act outside your zone changes your identity. Log those small wins. Build the undeniable evidence that you are someone who does hard things. Section 5, the expansion principle. This brings us to the ultimate payoff of this entire explainer. When you actually use that 5-step escape plan, something incredible happens to your mind. It's not just a temporary fix. Stepping out creates permanent structural changes to your capabilities. The ultimate magic of the growth zone is that what is currently terrifying soon becomes perfectly normal. Think about taking a cold shower. That first cold shower is absolute agony, right? But by your 30th, it's just kind of refreshing. Your comfort zone physically expanded to include it. And here is the absolute best part. Zones do not shrink back. Once you do something hard, your mental ceiling is raised permanently. You literally cannot unknow your own newly discovered capabilities. Just like 1% daily growth compounds over time, daily compound discomfort stacks into a total lifelong transformation. So I'm issuing you a direct challenge today, the 30-day Comfort Zone Challenge. Just one really small act outside your zone every single day. For week 1, introduce yourself to a stranger or say yes to an invite you would normally skip. Easy enough. Week 2, make that one phone call you've been avoiding or post something online you're nervous about. Week 3, step up to a hard conversation or apply for something you don't feel 100% ready for. And week 4, reflect on who you were on day 1 versus day 28. These are tiny 1% daily edge pushes, but if you actually commit to this, I guarantee you will be astounded by the compound transformation. Which brings us to the only question that actually matters right now. Your comfort zone is not your destiny. It is literally just your starting point. Every single day, you have a choice. So, what's it going to be? Will you stay in the illusion of safety, or will you grow into who you are meant to be? The choice is entirely yours. Now, go take that first step.